I send them a card that night, usually, if they've done one in the area. And all my leaders do the same thing. And the card always says the same thing. It's very basic. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend our opportunity meeting tonight. You have a wonderful distributor in, and then I mentioned whoever the distributor was that invited them. Please feel free to come to our next chocolate tasting. I give them the date. We would love to see you again and share more chocolate with you. And I've gone to people's homes and I've seen that card on their fridge, and they've told me, you know, I joined this business because you sent me that card. And nobody sent me a card very often. And I couldn't believe that when I didn't sign up, you took the time and you still invited me back. Because some people need to hear it a few times. And so that's one of the things we do, is we always follow up with people who don't sign up. And it only takes a few minutes, but it's a really effective, powerful tool. And so always make sure that you get the names of all the guests and the addresses of the guests. So on this sign-up sheet, it asks for the phone and the email, but ask the distributor who brought them to get the address so that you can follow up with them. The other thing that I think makes my chocolate tastings so successful is we always book the next chocolate tasting at the chocolate tastings. So when we're there before people leave, I book everybody who signs up for their chocolate launch. We all have a day calendar, so we just go in and book everybody. And we book everybody for their 48-hour follow-up. And you know, if you're a new distributor and all of a sudden you have things on your calendar, don't you feel like you're more in business than if you look at an empty book? And so I always teach people, put everything in this, get some sort of a day planner, some sort of a calendar that you can take to the chocolate tasting with you and book. And it's really an effective tool, and I think that's one of the reasons. I taught this in a class a couple weeks ago, and one of my support team, Sandy Chambers, who's my sponsor, one of the people in her group did this for the first time, and she told me she had 32 bookings just from booking at her first few chocolate tastings. Well, that makes you feel like you're really in business, especially in December when things might have slowed down. So it's just an effective tool. The reason I have the meeting in the box is so that I've got everything there and I leave it in my car. I don't take it in unless I need it. The display, we always have a display at every meeting and at every chocolate tasting. We use empty product boxes so that nobody walks away with handfuls of chocolate. I laminate the pamphlets so that nobody walks away with all the pamphlets. We do it, always do either spinach or blueberries. We have a tall vase, and we either put half a pound of spinach in the vase and 1 nugget to show the ORAC value of the spinach is the same as 1 nugget. Or we put three cups of blueberries in the vase. It's a very powerful visual tool. So people have said to me, you know, are you the lady with the spinach chocolate? And you know, I know they didn't quite get the display, but it's okay. As Ian said, always arrive early, have some chocolate. The refreshments you should have are really water, because you don't want to take away from the chocolate, and people are going to be eating chocolate. And you also want the people that are there to think, I can do this, you know. And if people think they have to serve food, it takes away from the chocolate. And so that's something that we really, this is kind of fun having this down here. I have a little sign down here that's telling me what to say. I'm probably not supposed to tell them that, am I? Okay, special tips. Okay. One of the things that I'm going to tell you some of the things we did in the beginning and I don't do now. At the beginning, we put the pamphlets. Have any of you done this? You put the pamphlets out on the table? Because it seems like a good idea, right? Because you could have a dentist there and you might want to pick up that dentistry pamphlet. We don't, what happens is they start reading the pamphlets while I'm talking. I find that really offensive. So this way they can't read anything, they have to listen to me or listen to the presenter. I want them to listen to what the presentation is. I want it to be quick and easy and to have a good flow. So we don't put any pamphlets out until after the presentation's over. If I'm talking on the speakerphone, as I said, we have this almost cookie cutter approach that we're doing. It's really easy and effective. And so what we do is if I call in, then the people that I'm calling in, if they're a brand new distributor, I might do the entire presentation and I'm on the speakerphone. So what this does for the guest is you have to think of what the guests are thinking all the time. So they're thinking, well, I could do this. I could invite somebody over, and I could have somebody who's really making this work phone in and do the presentation for me, and then I just get to sign them up. Does that make sense to people? I could do this. It gives them a feeling of support. And I always, as the presenter, make sure they feel welcome. The agenda. The first thing we do is who's ever being the host should always introduce the speaker. And one of the things most people don't know how to do is introduce the speaker. And always when you're introducing someone at any event, whether it's a chocolate tasting or, you always say the person's name last. That's the very last thing. Then you say their rank right above that. And then you give 3 what I call wow things about them. So you start off with the 3 wow things about them, say their rank and their name. And the reason that you do that is because you have to give the people there a reason that they think they should listen to this person. So it's kind of edifying the person that's going to be the presenter. Does that make sense? So if it's a brand new distributor, what you're going to say is different than what I would say if I was introducing Jeremy, right? Because the wow factors for Jeremy are really wow. But the wow factors for a brand new distributor might be something like, she's so excited, this is her first time she's owned her own business. We're all here to support her. We want to introduce you to new distributor, and then the person's name, okay? So but the person presenting, you want to give the people there a reason to listen. Then we do a group introduction. I always start with the person sitting beside me, and I ask them to say their name, why they came, and what the chocolate's done for them if they're a distributor. And if they're a guest, I say your name and what you do for your job and why you came. So a lot of times they'll say things, I have no idea why I'm here, my cousin dragged me, and then that's okay because we all laugh and that's fine. What you want to happen is that as they're saying their job, the people that are sitting there as a guest in their heads are making a mental list of the jobs that are there. So if somebody says, well, I'm a real estate agent, they're thinking, well, I know a real estate agent. I never thought of inviting a real estate agent. I know a dentist. I never thought of inviting my dentist. I know a mom who just wants to stay at home with her new baby. I never thought of inviting her. So even though they may not even realize that they're interested in having a business yet, they're already making a list in their head. And the people who give a chocolate testimonials, they're thinking, I know somebody with blood pressure. They could be my customer. That person, I know somebody with diabetes. This is a chocolate they could eat. So this is a very powerful time is to do testimonials. If I'm doing a chocolate tasting in a big group and we're at a hotel or something like that, then I do 3 product testimonials and 3 lifestyle testimonials. And a lifestyle testimonial is how this business has changed someone's life. And we have a lot of people like that. And it could have changed your life in a very small way, or it could have, I have a person who, Judith, who was able to take a trip to Australia, a 5-week, leave her business, she's a minister, leave her ministry and go to Australia for 5 weeks, completely paid for by her chocolate business. She had not been able to afford to go home and see her family for 17 years. Isn't that is, to me, that's a very powerful lifestyle